just a very short video today, and I want to show you an app that I've been using for a very long time. It's called the Coil Builder App. Alright, Coil Builder App for iOS. On Android is just known as Vape Tool. Now, I think I have been using it since it was also called Vape Tool on iOS, and then I'm not sure when, but they changed the name. So now it's called the Coil Builder App, and by far it's the best app that I have used. I've used many other apps before, and this one was on my phone, and I didn't quite appreciate it until I really got started into building my own coils. And then I found this app, the Coil Builder app, to be far more superior than any of the other apps. And so I've removed all the other apps, and this is the only app that I'm using. So I'm going to show you this, and it's very useful because, you know, whenever you want to study about Ohm's law, like they say, they always send you to steam-engine.org, Steam Engine, the website. You can go there, but you don't really need to, because lots of the apps, like the one I'm going to show you right now, already has all the information and more inside the app, at your fingertips whenever you want to. So it's going to be very useful for those who want to build do a build on a Mac mod, those who, just want to get started and want to know about the batteries, etc. But mostly for Mac mod users, and also for those who are trying to build their own coil or understand at least how those complex coils work. Without much further ado, let's get to the close-ups. I'm going to show you the most useful app for vapers, the Coil Builder app. Alright guys, so this is the app that I've been talking about. It's called the Coil Builder app by Stanislav Baransky. Now, I have used many different apps before on my iPhone and Android as well, but this is currently my favorite. I think overall it is still the best app. Some of them used to be good, but I think they're kind of outdated now because it's you can't use them to do more advanced stuff or more advanced coil calculations, right? So this is a free app right here, and of course you can download it for iOS. Check the review as well. Maybe I should write a review on it. But as you can see, right, there are some upgrade versions as well. So the Pro version is going to cost you, I don't know how much in US dollars, maybe $4 or $3.99 US dollars or $4.99, around that. Here's how the app itself looks. So you have your main screen here, which kind of looks intimidating, but I'll show you how to use this actually. So if you press the menu right here, so you have a few functions. Coil is to calculate the resistance of your coil. Now, apps like this are very, very useful for those of you who want to use Mac mod, especially because you want to get your resistance down right to the very, very exact resistance. So that will be the first coil calculator. And then you have Ohm's law. So this Ohm's law is basically a very simple calculator for you if you just want to do some quick calculations, right? So let's say you know the resistance of your coil here, 0.2 for example, and then you would know your voltage. So if you have a fully charged battery, you can put 4.2 volts. If you want to use the working voltage, you can put 4 volts, and then you press calculate, right? So it calculates your current and your wattage. So this is a very simple tool for you to use if, let's say, you already know the resistance of your coil and you just want to make sure, if you have the right battery, etc. So it gives you the current or amp level, and then you can use that information to actually match up with your battery. The third is the batteries database. I find this very, very useful, right? So they have lots and lots of batteries here. I believe most of the information here is from the battery testing by Battery Mooch, the go-to guy for all things battery related in the vape community. So you can find lots of information about your batteries right here. So if, let's say, you want to check out a new battery that you are thinking to buy, you can just put in here, for example, or let's say I just know that Sony batteries are good and I just want to check out all the other available Sony batteries. Done. right? So you have your Sony VTC3, 4, 5, 5A, 6, right? So this is the one that I always use, 5A. Click on that and it gives you lots of information about the battery itself. So there are some versions that are not available for you in the free version. So for example, the battery test, if you want to check that, you have to upgrade to the pro version, which I probably will do right after this. I just want to show you the free version. So this information right here is very important for you to determine your battery safety. Now the other one right here is converters. I find this very useful as well, because usually when I'm doing a coil build, etc., I go for gauge, American wire gauge, AWG, that's what it means, right? So sometimes in some online stores, when I want to buy certain types of wire, they put it in millimeters. I find it's true especially for any online store based in Europe or UK. They tend to use a metric system. So let's say if I know that I want 28 gauge wire, and that will give me the corresponding diameter of the wire in millimeters. Other stuff here that's not specific to vaping, maybe this one right here. So if you want to I don't know, most mods can do Celsius and Fahrenheit, but if let's say your mod can only do Celsius and you're used to Fahrenheit, then you can use this thing to convert it, right? And then you have another information here, battery life capacity. So this is a bit more advanced if you want to calculate your battery capacity, but you really need a lot of information here. Number one, you need to know what is your battery capacity like, 2500 mAh for example, and then you want to calculate, let's say if you vape it at 60 watts, right? And then you press average puff time. So let's say you like to take pretty average puffs, 3 seconds, then you can calculate. But here's the thing, you also have to enter 2 more values right here. So you need to know, let's take the example earlier, 0.2 is the resistance of the my coil, and let's say it's 25 amps. Done. Calculate, right? So it shows you that with this particular battery that you can have about 89 puffs before you need to charge the battery again. And then other stuff right here, you have your settings. Alright, so let's get back to the main thing right here, the coil builder, which is what I find very, very useful in this. Now other apps do have similar stuff, but this is really, really advanced, right? Because you can calculate for very complex coils, fuse, Clapton, etc., etc. The other apps just don't have the options for you to choose from. So that's why I stopped using those apps. So you can do a single coil, dual coil, quad coil, penta coil, octa coil, and let's say you're doing a dual coil build, alright, dual coil, or let's say single coil for a single coil squonk setup. And now I will just choose the wire. So I usually go for N80 nichrome, click done, right? And then I want to click on wire type right here. And so here's the interesting part. So I want to do a Clapton wire, for example. So I'm going to choose Clapton. Now you can choose so many other options, but some of the options are for pro only, right? So if you're only interested in simple coils like normal, parallel, twisted, I think it's good enough because you can get up to fuse Clapton without having to upgrade with a free version. So Alien, unfortunately, right, then it will ask you to buy the pro version. So I'm just going to select, let's say, a simple Clapton coil, right? And now it gives you the outer wrap. So I know that I want to use a 26 gauge in the coil is 26 gauge nichrome. Didn't I just select nichrome? And N80. All right, and the outer wrap, let's say I want it to be nichrome as well, N80 as well, and I'm going to put 36 gauge. All right, and I know that I want to have a 3mm diameter coil. The leg length per coil, this is about 15mm, right? And this is usually not when you already have it in your RD or your atomizer, right? So I'm going to put it about maybe 10mm, right? So 5 on each side. Really, this part right here it varies a lot, but this is the important part, number of wraps per coil. So let's say I want to put a 6 wrap coil, right? And then I press calculate, and it shows me the resistance right there. So in this case, it's 0.671 ohms, right? So that is very, very useful, very, very important. So it's really very simple to use. Now, once you have put in your coil setup here, you can actually save it, right? And you can choose something to save it as. I'm just going to put cancel right now. And I'm going to show you some of the coil setups that I've saved. So they call it as a recipes. So in recipes right here, I have my favorite Mac mod bill, right? A fused Clapton bill, nichrome 80, nichrome 80, and nichrome 80 again. So it's a triple core fused Clapton bill, and the outer gauge is 38 gauge, and it should come up to about 0.269 ohms for 5 wrap coil, right? Leg lengths per coil, you can modify this. Okay, so let's say if you have a different RDA that has got a different way of putting in your coil, so let's put 10 for example, right? But it changes the resistance a little bit, but not by too much. So it's not something that you need to worry about, just in case you're not sure about that. But overall, it's very, very easy to use. So if I want to know, for example, I already have my favorite bill and I just want to, check what will happen if I do not use a 3mm coil and instead I use a 2.5mm coil, right? And I calculate again, and then I can see the difference in the resistance itself. But overall, I've already done the hard work right there to save all of my favorite builds in here, so that every time I want to build on something, I can just come and refer back to this and figure out what I want to do or how I want to build it, right? So if it's a single coil, I can just follow it exactly, and if it's a dual coil, I'll just click on it, edit, and put it as a dual coil with the exact same setup for both the coils. And I've also been using this since I started making my own coils, right? Just to get a better understanding of what you will end up with instead of just blindly doing stuff. So as I said, there's many apps out there that can do similar stuff, but I think this is the best, and it's called Coil Builder. You can check it out on iOS, and I think also on Android, although the Android version may not look exactly the same. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. So it's a very simple app, free to download, and of course you can upgrade if you want to. I'm not sure if on Android if it's free with the in-app purchase or not. I do have an Android phone. I hate using it. You know what I mean? I hate using the Android phone. Yeah, so I hope this video was useful, and go and download the Coil Builder app. Okie dokie, no more smoking.
Wow.